Hey, good morning to all of our Millwood Lancer students and staff members. This is Mr. Lasur, and I'm bringing you this video broadcast as a special message on our focus on five, which began this week with our transition week and will begin officially on Monday, February 1st. Now, Focus on Five is nothing new to any of our students here at Millwood or staff members. It is really just our chance to reteach and review some basic expectations that we have here at school. Now that we have entered the second half of our school year, we want to make sure that everything is going as well as possible between now and the end of the school year. We focused on our academic goals, our student growth goals, and in order to really make those successful, we need to make sure that we're taking care of hallways and classrooms and observing the things that we need to. And so Focus on Five is our way of doing that. I'm going to review our Focus on Five expectations, and you can follow along. Hopefully your teachers have also reviewed these with you, and will continue to do so for the next couple of weeks, and we will come back to them as we need to. So number one is we observe our non-negotiables, and for us here at Millwood, our non-negotiables are mainly cell phones and electronics being turned off and put away unless you have permission from a teacher. I know that in some classrooms, the teachers do allow their students to use their cell phones, but those are special situations. What I'm talking about is students walking around the halls during passing time and in classes. Students should not be on those cell phones unless they have permission from a teacher. When the bell for first hour rings at the beginning of the day, those phones should be turned off and put away, and they should not come out again until the dismissal bell rings at 2:20. Headphones and earbuds, same thing. Noticed a lot of people wearing earbuds and headphones around their necks. Those should be put away as well and out of sight, stored in a locker or stored in a backpack or in a pocket. And backpacks, bags, and purses should also be stored in your locker. Those are our main non-negotiables. Purses, bags, backpacks, those things should not be brought to class. Focus on Five, number two, is we follow all hallway rules. And hallway rules are very, very simple. We walk on the right side of the halls, and we do have our lines down on the floor to remind people about that. It's just like driving. Okay? You drive on opposite sides of the road so that you don't run into each other and have any accidents. We walk in the hallways, always. Running is not acceptable at any time. And so we always encourage folks to walk and expect that our students will be walking in the hallway. In the hallway, we keep our hands and our feet to ourselves. You hear me on the announcements remind students about the importance of young men never putting their hands on a young lady. The young ladies observing the same respect and same caring towards each other and towards our young men. Hands on, feet on should never be. And keeping our voice levels, and this is a big one. Our voice levels in the hallway should never be higher really than a 2. Met with a classroom and asked them about what are the different voice levels, and you've all been taught that since kindergarten, really, that level 3 is an outside voice. My joke with them was sometimes I hear people in the hallway at a level 9, and that's way, way too high. So level 2 should be as high as it goes in the hallway. Focus on Five, number 3, we get to our classes on time. And on time means before the tardy bell rings. I have a lot of folks that are out of that habit, and we're going to be really pushing and encouraging and focusing on that one. That's a big one. I don't know if folks are aware, but we do have a tardy policy here at Millwood Magnet that asks teachers to contact parents. And I do have a number of teachers that do that, and what they tell me is that that's usually enough to get students' attention. So we're going to get back to our tardy policy and expectations that teachers will be observing that as well. I know that your teachers will review that with you in each of your classes. Focus on Five, number 4, we take pride in getting our work done. And it's not just getting our work done, it's handing in quality work. I shared during announcements that when I was a classroom teacher, I always told my students that I reserve the right to ask you to do an assignment again. That is, if I feel like it's not up to the level that your ability is at, and my students were very smart, just as all of our Millwood Magnet students are very smart, very capable. You all want to be handing in work that is reflective of your very best effort. So I'm asking teachers to not accept things that shouldn't be accepted. Just because you've done something doesn't mean that it's ready to be handed in. So classwork, homework, your projects, your assignments should all be completed. Number one, completed and turned in. And two, we hand in work that is high quality and reflects our very best efforts. Anything that you take the time to do should be done to your very best. And then focus on five. Number five is we are prepared for each class. We bring all necessary materials to class, including our pencils, pens, binders, folders, ISNs, and ISJs for those that are appropriate in math and in science. It's not the teacher's job to make sure that you have materials. It's not the teacher's job to supply you materials. Now, I have some very wonderful teachers and staff here who will make sure that you have a pencil. And I have made sure that all of our teachers do have some extra pencils. But it's your job, again, preparation for graduation. Once you get to high school, it's not going to be a whole lot of supplying of materials. And that's what we're trying to get you ready for. So you will be expected to come to class with all of the materials that are necessary. Coming prepared helps to make sure that you are academically successful, and that's why we're here. Okay, so those are our focus on 5 points. We'll just remind you that beginning on Monday, February 1st, this is when Focus on 5 officially kicks off. Those folks that have cell phones that are out, usually in the past, we've given you a warning or asked you to put those away. We're going to be taking those cell phones and holding them until the end of the day. So I want to be real clear about that. The expectation will be that if a staff member sees your phone out and asks you for your phone, that you will hand that phone over. I share with the classes I met with, I've not had a problem with that. The students will usually give it to one staff member or another, but we are going to be putting those cell phones away and taking that distraction out of the way, okay, so we can focus on our academics. And that begins on Monday. That's the major change. But we'll be focusing on each of our Focus on 5 areas. If you have any questions about Focus on 5, you can certainly see your teachers, you can see your staff members, or if you see me in the hallway or stop by my office and ask, I'll be happy to answer anything for you. Focus on 5 is really going to help us to finish our year on a very successful and positive academic note. Thanks. Have a good day.